I'm sure you remember our nationalist friends chanting boycott Chinese products, boycott China, and government will be like, ha ha ha, yeah, yeah, Johnny Johnny, no papa. Because it is not easier to boycott Chinese products, like running a boycott Chinese products campaign on the internet. They're like your boss. You can't fire them. China is your boss. China is the boss. Moreover, China is the only country who would totally survive the global recession or global economic crisis, and they will still make a lot of profit out of recession. Now that's crazy, right? Hello friends, my name is Ankit Barthwal. Welcome to Gyan Rudra. Today we are going to talk about how China will still profit in middle of coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic effect and global recession, and how recession won't affect China and China's export empire. Moreover, this would simply increase their profits. First of all, China is already halfway recovering from coronavirus pandemic. They have dismissed the lockdowns in their major cities. Even China's infamous wet market has been opened up, where people are once again buying bats and other animals to eat. That I can't even talk about, or I simply don't like talking about it. Like, who the heck eats a bat? Or pets like cats and dogs? Bite them, boy! Bite them! Anyways, while China is restoring its manufacturing power, while the world is nowhere near closing the effect of coronavirus in their respective countries, around 1,000 people died in USA in a single day. Even in India, the cases of coronavirus has doubled in last 2 days and increasing at a rapid rate. So you see, when the whole world is suffering from COVID-19 and global recession, China is way ahead of the world, getting their machines back at work and resuming their export empire. Let me take you through some interesting facts about China and export that would blow your mind away. In 2018 alone, China merchandise exports made up 12.8% of all global exports. What makes it an interesting fact is that there are 195 sovereign states or countries in the world. Now, if we do a simple math here, then China fulfills 100% goods to approximately 25 countries in the world, or China fulfills the requirement or basic necessities of 963.8912 million people of the world, or 96.38912 crore people of the world. That's 17.3821% more than the population of Europe, and almost 3 times the population of USA, and almost equal to the population of North America and South America combined. So now you can comprehend the power of China at the world's export stage. People who shouts boycott China has no idea what impact it will left on the world if everyone boycotted China out of nowhere. Going further, China is responsible for the manufacturing and exporting of 26.9% of total electrical machinery and equipment of the world. Now we just did a math on China, 12.8% global export rate. So you can do the rest of math now. The world's electronic demand somewhat depends on China. Now, you know what? China is also responsible for the manufacturing of global export of 16.7% of computer machinery. Once again, the world technology somewhat heavily depends on China. Other than that, China also manufactures and exports goods like furniture, bedding, lighting, plastic articles, vehicles, optical, technical, medical apparatus, articles of iron and steel, knit or clothing accessories, toys, games, each commodity covering around 2.5 to 4% of global shipments. Well, pretty neat, right? Supreme Comma, I mean, Mr. President. Now you know just how brutally the world is heavily dependent on China's export. And now, when the world is going through two major crises, coronavirus COVID 19 health crisis and global recession crisis, boycotting China is a long shot and impossible to do it right away. Unless countries like India and other South Asian countries, where labor cost is not as expensive as it is in Western countries, can become self dependent on most of the resources that they buy from China and start pushing up the production of their respective manufacturers, mills, and further pushing their exporting business. But it won't happen overnight. It will take years, especially if you're thinking about running a political campaign about boycotting Chinese products just after the pandemic lockdown ends. It is a straight no. Impossible. A whole lot of developed and developing countries depend on China's manufacturing power and their export. And at the time of global recession, China is an undisputed winner. But the only way to stop China is to support or operate homemade products, just like the Indian government promotes Made in India brand to bring a change in Indian economy, to bring or to boost the Indian economy. So other countries should follow the same change, same path. Only then one can compete with an export powerhouse like China. Like Winston Churchill once said, because those who never change their minds never change anything. That's all for today, friends. If you like the content, do like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe Gyan Rudra. I will see you next time. Namaste.